Greetings everyone, Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to yet another episode of What's Hot with Sea of Tranquility. New reviews coming at you hot and heavy this week. Day 2 in a row of all sorts of new album reviews. This is a really enjoyable one from an Italian band who have been around since the mid-70s. They gave us the great Principe di un Giorno back in 1976. They pumped out a couple recent ones over the last couple of years. In 2019, we had Il Risveglio del Principe. 2020, we had Il Principe del Regno Perduto. And now we've got in 2022, Celeste with the Celestial Symphony Orchestra. Ciro Perino and company. Once again, churning out some lush, symphonic, romantic Italian progressive rock, as only Celeste can do it. You like Mellotron? You've come to the right place. Sal, this one's for you. I want to read you a sheet that Ciro had sent me. Ciro, how you doing? Thank you so much once again for gracing us with your band's music. This is some information about this particular album. For Celeste, making an album with the Symphony Orchestra has always been, since the beginning of his adventure in the far 1972, a kind of secret dream. We must not forget that the very first lineup consisted of 3 strings, 2 violins, and a cello. Mariano Schiavolini, in addition to being a guitarist, he was a student at the conservatory in violin and also played the clarinet. Leonardo Lagorio played the flute in addition to saxophones. Ciro Perino had almost graduated in flute and began to study the oboe, so the sonorities were oriented towards the classical and symphonic music, without ever forgetting the strong rock influences after the experience with Il Sistema. I also remember that we were the first to propose in 1970 a version of A Night on Bald Mountain by Modest Mussorgsky. Then the events and the personalities of some of the fledgling band members led to reconsider everything in another key. But the desire to find again a more complete sound has never been forgotten. However, compositions were needed, designed for a larger staff. So already a few years ago, I got my hands on this type of project, aware of the risks and difficulties I would face. Now let's think about the next Celeste. Already set are 20 minutes of compositions. It will be with the dominant presence of the Mr. Mellotron. It will be with the dominant presence of Mr. Mellotron. Of course, wouldn't be a Celeste album without that. And again, for the appointment with the 50th anniversary of Principe di un Giorno in 2026, I already have a nice surprise ready. We'll talk about it later. So, some handwritten notes and things from Ciro himself. Let's take a look at the album. So this is it right there. Celeste with Celestial Symphony Orchestra. Yes, indeed, everything is in Italian. And this is on Mellow Records. Okay, as most of the recent stuff from Celeste has been on. There's the booklet here. I'll tell you who's on it and all that good stuff in just a second. Lyrics. Everybody in the studio. There's the man himself right in the middle, right? I believe. Anything else I should show you here? Hold on. Let's pop the disc out so you can see the nice color shot of all of them in the studio. Very cool stuff. So, on the album, we have Ciro Perino on Mellotron, Solina, Eminent, Hammond, Mini Moog, ARP 2600, Voce Solista. Okay, all different keyboards. Francesco Bertone, electric bass. Enzo Cioffi on drums. Mauro Vero on chitarre acustiche, acoustic guitar, and chitarre elettrica, electric guitar. And then Marco Moro on flute. And then the Celestial Symphony Orchestra, which features all sorts of people here. So I'm going to because this is always fun for me, even though I am half Italian. I don't speak Italian, so it's always interesting trying to read Italian language, right? See how close I can, being around Italians most of my life. There are lots of songs. I'm just going to read you the song titles and the track lengths. We got Blue Genziana, 522. Nuove Galassi, 457. Angelici Prospettive, 401. Pauso de Quete, 352. Hold on, I'm trying to read this one here. Ali Passaggere, 651. Boschi and Lanterne, 529. Druidi e Musici, 447. Sogne Elisi, 546. Cascate de Cristallo, 726. Morise, 608. Ichi, 417. Ombre Cremisi, 535. And Ametista ed Opale, 453. Ciro, let me know if I totally butchered all those song titles. Anyway, this is just gorgeous stuff, ladies and gentlemen. The orchestra mixed with the Celeste band is pure magic, as you can imagine. Celeste music on its own is very orchestral and kind of flowing and symphonic anyway, with like the lush acoustic guitars and the heaping amount of mellotron and all sorts of other keyboards and the gorgeous Italian vocals. Here with all the strings and whatnot, it's just absolutely fantastic. And I don't know if I read out as far as like the singers on the album. Anyway, I digress. I just lost my train of thought there for a second. Yeah, I mean, this is just lush city. This is highly enjoyable. Again, this is not aggressive, bombastic progressive rock like Banco or PFM or Il Balletto di Bronzo or that sort of thing. This is romantic prog rock, highly symphonic, just dreamy, lush, orchestral, pastoral stuff. The acoustic guitars are gorgeous. You get little bursts of electric guitar here and there, but there's nothing big and aggressive going on here. If you love the mellotron, it's ever creeping on like every track on here. But man, all the different strings and whatnot from the orchestra is just adds so much to this music. I played this whole thing and I was like, multiple times, and I'm kind of like, oh my God, you just can't help but get swept away by this. This is just, when you talk about beautiful progressive rock, that's this. That's always been this band, right? There's just something about Celeste that's just so warming and charming, and just, it's like feel good, and it just kind of sweeps over you. This is not stuff to rock out to at all. It's not the point of this band. It never really was. But man, just absolutely gorgeous stuff. These wonderful emotional soundscapes, and just it's like, imagine if you're like drifting along in the sky on a cloud, right? And more clouds are kind of coming by, and the sun's shining over, and maybe a little light drizzle here and there, and just the birds you see underneath you. And that's kind of like what the feeling you get with this. Just really, really wonderful stuff. This needs to be heard. And again, if you've never listened to the music of Celeste, I highly recommend them. They're one of the absolute gems of the Italian progressive rock scene, and to see that they're still going and making new music, Ciro and company, all these years later is great. And he's got new stuff planned already, which is fantastic. So yeah, so check this out. Celeste with the Celestial Symphony Orchestra. Absolutely gorgeous stuff, as always. And give it a try, because it is just some fantastic stuff. Let's see if I can get you any additional information here. Let's see. As far as the lead vocals, so you've got Ciro Perino does lead vocals on here as well. You've also got Ines Alaprandi on lead vocals on a number of tracks. Ciro Carlo Antonio Perino lead vocals on one track. Roberto Tiranti lead vocals on a couple other tracks. And like I said, there's oboe, English horn, clarinet, bassoon, trumpet, trombone, violins, cellos, all sorts of things on here. Yeah, this is quite good. It's about 70 minutes long, so you get a good amount of music on here. But just wonderful, wonderful stuff. You know, how can you not give this like 4.5 out of 5 stars? It just can't do it. Just beautiful, beautiful music. So check it out. Visit us on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook. We're on YouTube. All together, all the damn time. Thanks for watching, everybody. Please hit the like button before you leave, and make sure you go down, visit our merch page and our Ko-Fi page for channel donations. All that's down below. And we'll see you soon here on the Big C real soon with more content. I am Pete Pardo. Thanks for watching, everybody, and thanks for checking out all these new album reviews the last 2 days. We'll have more for you next week. So what do we got? New Enslaved. We've got New Angel. Bunch of other things. Jade Warrior. Archival release. Lots of cool stuff. So don't touch that dial. We'll be back with more. Till then, I am Pete Pardo. Have a good one. Bye-bye.